my name is Amir Rahimi. I'm a producer on The Rise of the Witch King, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the Angmar Faction. The Angmar Faction is a very diverse group of heroes led by the Witch King himself, who is sort of the star of the game and the most powerful hero that the Angmar Faction has. Serving as the Witch King's right hand is Morgamir. He's actually one of the 9 Nazgul and the Witch King's right hand. Morgamir has 2 major sort of functions within the Angmar Faction. First of all, he's sort of an anti-structure hero. I think at level 7 he gets a very powerful attack against structures, but he can also buff some of Angmar's more elite troops. One of the things that we set out to do when creating the Angmar Faction was to really set it apart from the Battle for Middle-earth 2's other factions. One way that we were successful in doing this was by introducing the Thrallmaster unit. Angmar doesn't build its basic infantry the way that every other faction in the game does. They have to rely on this one Thrallmaster to summon all the various elements of the rock, paper, scissors combat chain. Another very innovative unit that Angmar has is the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer roams the battlefield surrounded by a group of acolytes who are basically these feeble men that follow him around and serve as his protection. But they also serve a much darker purpose. The Sorcerer actually needs to consume the souls of his acolytes in order to cast spells. And depending on the strength of the spell that he casts, he will consume a various number of his acolytes. One of the races that the Witch King was able to bring under his heel were the Orcs. Now, the Orcs in the region of Angmar have been able to forge a bond with the wolves, and have actually been able to train them to be able to ride them. For the basic cavalry unit for Angmar are wolf riders. Another hero in the Angmar faction is a troll named Rogosh. Rogosh has the size and physical ability of any very powerful troll in Middle-earth, but what sets him apart is that he has the intelligence to fight like a trained swordsman. That makes Rogosh a very powerful mid to late game hero, especially once you unlock his leap ability, which is just this devastating ability to leap among a group of units and send them flying all over the map. Rogosh is a very powerful mid to late game hero, but one of my favorite early to mid game heroes in the Angmar faction is Waldar. Waldar is a hill chief that specializes in sort of buffing and providing leadership bonuses to some of Angmar's most basic infantry unit, the Hillmen. So a great strategy with Waldar is to level him up to where he gets his Hillman leadership, build a bunch of Thrallmasters, and combine them with Waldar, summon the Hillmen, and run them around. Now at the higher levels, Waldar has the ability to summon actual Hillmen, as well as plunder the enemy for resources as he kills opposing troops. On the high end of the Palantir power tree, Angmar gets 2 brand new spells. One of these spells is the Avalanche, which allows them to rain just tons of snow and ice onto enemy units and structures, devastating anything in its path. The other level 25 point spell that Angmar gets is the ability to summon the Shade of the Wolf. This is a giant ghost of a werewolf that runs around the battlefield and inflicts tons of damage with his massive claws. He also has the ability to snatch up individual units and devour them, regenerating his health. One great thing about the new Angmar faction is that units like the Thrallmaster and the Sorcerer can be combined with very interesting powers such as Fell Wind to create endless number of strategies. We've noticed that throughout the development process, team members would come up with new strategies all the time that would shock us and be very surprising and cool. And I can't wait until everyone can get their hands on The Rise of the Witch King to see what they come up with. I think that the Angmar faction has the potential to be one of the coolest and most innovative factions in the entire Battle for Middle-earth series.